What's up, Bucs fans? Back at it here at Pirate Parlay on the Sick Podcast Network. Huge win for the Bucs this week. Keeps them alive in the playoff hunt. First place now in the NFC South, but they've got these other teams, Falcons and Saints, breathing down their neck. No room for error down the stretch. They've got 4 games left, 2 divisional games, 2 games against some really tough opponents, in this week's opponent in the Green Bay Packers, and then a Christmas Eve game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So little room for error. Feels like the Bucs have kind of turned a corner in multiple facets of their game, including on offense, including the running game. Rachaad White ran for 102 yards this past week, third week in a row where he's eclipsed at least 85 to 100-yard games in there, and still a threat in the passing game. And guess what? We've got him on to talk to you. Be right back.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. Pirate Parlay.
Battle intercepted, picked off in the end zone. Bucs are going to beat the Chiefs. We're the champions of the world.
The sickest Tampa Bay Buccaneers podcast. It's going to be sick.
Back at it here at Pirate Parlay. We'll bring in our guest in with no further ado. Let me bring him in. Buccaneers running back Rachaad White. Rachaad, how are we doing tonight?
Good. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on here, talking shop. We'll get into some football questions. Then, as always, we'll get into some fun questions, get to know you a little bit more as a player off the field. But I got to dive right into it. Big win, NFC South lead. It's a small margin, though. We know the work's not done, but just talk about this last week's game. Went over 100 yards on the ground, had that big play through the air. Just talk about, how the win feels, and especially knowing that you were a big part of it.
We was talking about it all week. It was a much needed win. Obviously to get to where we're trying to, get to, which is, to win the division and, get a shot in the playoffs. And, that's all you can ask for. So we just was big on just picking up back off of what we did kind of last week, and just staying together, man, sticking together. And coach was calling plays. My teammates, my line, everybody was doing a great job and doing their job. And sometimes it's games that that calls for what happened out there, which was good that we actually got to see that we can lean on the run game, and we can run the ball and win while running the ball.
I know you're humble, so it's always about the team, always about the win first. But that being said, how did it feel to go out there and crack that 100 yards once again for the second time this season?
Honestly, it felt good. Honestly, I didn't even know that I was over 100 yards. Coach Pete be big on coaching me up, and he be big on it. So he had come to me after the game, was like, basically like, he'd be calling me like big homie and stuff like that. And it was like, we cracked 100 again, and just keep going the direction you're going. You've been doing a great job of just getting better throughout the season, and just making a great name for yourself, and doing everything you can to to try to help us, win and getting that dub column, and it finally paying off in the dub column and stuff like that. So honestly, I don't even really like think about that, or to be honest with you, when I'm out there or when I'm playing, I just try to do whatever I can to make a play to help us win a game, or just had a huge impact to where if I don't make a play, whatever I can do. Chase did a good job of spelling me and coming in there when I was tired, and getting his flow and rhythm, and he was making plays and things like that as well. So it was just good to know.
You're not over there on the sideline stacking. How many to 100? How many am I almost there?
But I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just trying to focus on doing my thing, and things like that. Sometimes being a young player, stuff could be frustrating, things like that. So I'm really over there just they really trying to keep me sane and stuff like that.
You talked about Chase, and just talk about the dynamic of that running back room, really kind of between you and Chase. Sean's still kind of getting his feet wet, getting one of the biggest components, pass blocking down, until he can kind of jump in there and take some more reps away. And, Key did his thing early on in the season, and, hasn't been able to contribute recently. But just talk about Chase, the kind of emergence of him over the last couple of weeks, his ability to spell you and his ability to go out there and break some of those chunk plays off.
Yeah, man, it's just great to show, great to see that whatever how many he has some great years in this league, and just him just as a leader in our room, and just as one of the leaders on our team, one of the vet guys that have been around in this league that have played 6 or 7 years, man. Just have him, there for me, helping me learn, helping me just get better each week, and like I said, just keeping my head in it and keeping my head strong, man. He's a great guy first. And then just him going in there and I'll make sure that same thing, his head straight, and make sure that he still had a confidence belief that he can still make plays in this league and things like that. Because sometimes that's just kind of how it be when you get up there in the years that he is, especially at running back and how it's portrayed. But
Right.
it's just good to see him, man, break off some of the runs, explosive things like that. He always tell me when I'm in there, just lean on him. I'm big, lean on him, lean on him, lean on him, and then go in there and see him doing his thing, man. It was just happy to see. It was just good to see, man, him do his thing.
Yeah, it's tough with running backs. They say more than any other position, the league retires you, right? I mean, go look at Todd Gurley, who's only 28 and was a monster for a few years, and then the league retired him. It's a tough position to play. There's a lot of wear and tear in your body, but you look at last week. It looks like there was what was clicking, what was different, what was it the game plan? Obviously, knowing the Falcons were down a few guys, then unfortunately, Contavious Street goes down with an injury, and it seemed like Canales, he stuck with the running game and said, "Hey, if we can just pound these guys down by the fourth quarter, they're going to be so tired and not want to, fight us that we're going to be able to push them around a little bit." And you saw that massive explosion in the fourth quarter. I believe there was 71 yards on the ground in the fourth quarter. What was different, and was it part of the game plan that was different? Was it just, you guys have the offensive line, finally clicking? Was it you kind of seeing things a little bit better? I spoke to Dave Canales, and sorry, this is a long question, but I spoke to him, and he said that the offense, the running scheme takes a while to really implement and feel good. He said the years in Seattle, it took like half a season before everyone was comfortable with it. What was different? What clicked? Was it the scheme? Was it the game plan? Just talking me through last week.
Honestly, yeah, it just the biggest thing was just seeing what they was doing to us. And how they was covering us. I mean, and they did a lot to like stop the pass, stop Mike, and things
Oh,
like that. I think they in CG they played a lot of too high and stuff like that. A lot of shell, more than we thought. They would switch it up with
entire
man.
game.
Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah. They would
It's
switch it up
crazy.
here and there and things like that. But it was just big, man. We just, went into halftime and just was understanding that, in order to win this game, we knew it. We said at halftime we're gonna have to run this ball. They want to run shell, yeah, like you said, a higher game or and too high. Then you got to run a team out of that. And I mean, honestly, in the first half and stuff like that, and stuff like that, they did a good job. Like you said, regardless, I think they DC do a good job of like switching up like looks and giving you different fronts and giving you different packages, man. Like come out in 33 dime, or he just come out in so many different things, man. It's awesome to see, man. He do a lot of stuff up front with the big guys. I mean, sometimes I have 5 man boxes, and was like, oh yeah, I know before the play that this was gonna break, and it was just like a 1 yard gain just because they stunned the three tech in the end, in the seventh. So and we weren't expecting them to stunt it like that. So they did a good job of mixing stuff up and doing that, but ultimately it just kind of came down to coaches just dialing it up in the fourth quarter, and we just understood what we had to do to get the job done, and it was a huge win, man. It was a huge win for sure.
Absolutely. You look at it any given Sunday, right? You look at their team, down their starting linebacker, down Grady Jarrett, down their, down David Onyemata, down their top backup in London, and you're like, you just can't overlook it. I mean, especially on this team, look at what's happened in the next man up mentality. So it's one of those things you can't overlook. I do want to just briefly touch, and then we'll move on from the game. But that fourth down, what kind of happened on that play, on the pitch play, on the turnover on downs?
I mean, to me, they just did a good job of like kind of seeing it coming. We had like a overlook to where we brought the tackle over, and they kind of loaded that side. So I think they did a good job. I didn't look at the play like after the fact on like film or nothing like that. Of course, I probably felt like maybe it's something I could have did better, or try to keep stretching and run outside and then cut up off of Tristan maybe so instead of Chris, and Tristan Chris was going to come back and get Jesse. But I think they did just a good job of just like kind of stunning over when they seen K come in motion and did a good job of really kind of stopping us for.
Yeah, it's a tough play too. You're already in shotgun. You need 2 yards, and a pitch play puts you, 4 yards back in the backfield at that point. And they're most likely expecting a run at that point, but it
Yeah,
doesn't matter because. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, toss play tough, like unless it's like blocked up perfectly, like
Right.
kind of like because I mean, at some point you gotta stick your foot in the ground and get upfield, and you running sideways while people running down like at an angle at you. So it's always like a tough call. If I mean, it's kind of like hit and miss sometimes. Like if when it's blocked up right or it's like the perfect look, the defense don't play right, then it's a great play. If it's not, then it's like a tough play.
Right, Dave. I asked Dave about more out like those toss and pitch plays, outside runs, and he said that they look great when they hit, but
Yeah.
the percentage of them hitting is lower than it is
Tough. Tough.
not hitting. Next week, another big game going to Lambeau. A lot of history in Lambeau, in that stadium. That's one of I compare that to like Fenway or Wrigley, right? It's one of like football mecca stadiums where so much history there. Are you looking forward to going there? Does that excite you? That get you up a little bit more, knowing that obviously it's a big game, but kind of playing in the cold too, potentially snow. I season the forecast. Does that kind of get you going a little bit?
Yeah, honestly, I think every game at this point, 4 games in, especially this point of the season, yeah, you got to get going, and you got to get going early in the week. Honestly, yeah, I just understand and know the magnitude of this game, regardless. I mean, we say we want the division games at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, we want to win out. I mean, like you said, we got some good opponents coming up, Green Bay and Jacksonville and things like that, and of course, like Green Bay right now is this week, so that's the very and most important one, and it's a good team. And you go up there and you trying to get a win, trying to put a stamp. We could get back to 500 with this game, so that's huge. We trying to end the season with a winning record, so just going up there, yeah. I mean, I don't really kind of paying attention to the history and things like that. And I mean, the weather is weather. It's football. It's tough. You know what I'm saying? Like it's tough. You gotta. It is what it is. I mean, I probably say I'd rather it be like be cold up there than how it was storming and raining here like
Yeah,
a week ago, because that's tougher.
that's crazy.
But yeah, that's tougher. But I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, man, it's a lot of history with them, and we know they're gonna come out to play, and we're gonna come out and do what we need to do necessary to get a win.
I know you're not a big stat guy, but I'm gonna give you a stat. Top receiving backs in the league: Christian McCaffrey, Rachaad White. How does that feel? Like, how does that feel knowing that you're one of the best receiving backs in the NFL? And like, how do you just go about that? Like, I mean, that's impressive. I know you're not thinking about it now, but I mean, just kind of you're right there with Christian McCaffrey, and Alvin Kamara is right behind you.
Yeah, I mean, for me though, I mean that's great for sure. Company to be a part of. I don't like think about it. Like even right now, what you saying that, like honestly, like I don't. I'm very like you said, just humble, down to earth guy though. So I don't really pay attention to it. And I got my boys and that I've been friends with from childhood and things like that. And we all just do a good job of like just being cool, having poise, and understanding like it's 4 games left. I need to do what I need to do at that, and then that how I am is like be in the moment, and after that, then we could talk about the stats or we could talk about whatever I did, and figure out what I can do better going into next year. But I mean, that's a great company to be a part of for sure. But I just go out there and try to do my job and play hard and do everything I need to do each play in order to at the end of the season look back and be like, yeah, like I was in the league company, and what can I do to take that leap to in order to be where I want to be, which is the best back in the league.
Nice. Well, very well said. Very well said. I want to take you back to Arizona for a second because you worked a lot of wide zone out in Arizona. You come here last year. They're running more of like that duo scheme. Now you're, back to relearning. What's the learning curve going from, what you did in college to last year to kind of learning this mid zone, wide zone scheme that Canals has implemented this year?
Honestly, I mean the big thing is, um, you know, us young players, man, we come from college, man. So it's at the end of the day, you want to make a play, man. And that's just what it boils down to. And just me adding on muscle and weight this season, and coming into the season, and me just seeing what happens and things like that. Like last game really showed me a lot of, and these past like couple of weeks, whatever, been showing me a lot of just how, especially at the end of at the like this time of the season, guys' minds are everywhere. Just being honest, some days you wake up, you want to do it. Some days you wake up, you like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Just reality of it, and everybody at that point of the season, and it's just it's that you got to be mentally strong right here at this point of the season. You got to be passionate. You got to have enthusiasm. You got to, really want it. And that's just kind of what it boils down to. So just for me, the biggest thing when it comes to learning that is just understanding and take what they give, And, I see people and I see everybody talking. People like, oh, he don't pitter patter as much as no more. He ain't just stopping his feet or just like that. At the end of the day, it's just understanding, taking what they give. I gotta take what they give, and it'd be some games where they not probably gonna give up nothing even late in the game, or it's gonna be some games where, like last game, taking what they give in the first half, and then the second half, everything just started. Then all right, now 8 yards, 10 yards, 9 yards. I mean, I ain't gonna speak on some of it because I don't want to get fined, but I believe like some of my carries, I mean, was kind of, we're just gonna speak on the spot. The spot wasn't kind of where I liked it, but I ain't trying to get fined.
I hear you there. The criticism's hard. Sometimes the constructive criticism. You guys see everything, especially you're very active on socials as well. Sometimes that constructive criticism comes in house, and one of the things Coach Pete said, he wanted to see you be more violent to your game, more violence to it. He wants you to use that big old frame, that you were talking about, to run somebody over, to lower your shoulder and run through them. And you can see you've added more of that to your game. Is that something you continue to strive to add?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll be trying to add that a lot. I mean, it's kind of tough with yeah, I'm a big frame and I'm big this, and I mean the game changes all the time. And I try to run through people. Sometimes I run through people, sometimes I don't. But at the same time, that's just how the game go. But my biggest thing is just understanding the game, man, and that's what I feel like I've been doing a good job of for real. For me, it's just understanding. Like it's tough. Like like you. You rarely see like dudes get trucked or people get trucked because like the game changed. Like most dudes when you come against 6'1" or so, 6 feet, 6'1", backs 220 or 215 in that range. Most dudes don't tackle you at a certain point. Like most dudes just tackle your legs or just dive for you, things like that.
Right.
So yeah, I try to do a best job of like sinking my hips, trying to run through it, things like that. And then like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't work. But yeah, I'm trying to do more of that. Just realizing the game and things like that. Like I said, man, I be watching some old highlights of other running backs, and
Can't do it.
I'm not knocking. Yeah, I'm not knocking what's going on. It's just like I just realized the game has changed so much, and we watch it in our room. Coach turn on old school running backs, and I tell him and I talk stuff all the time. I'm like, no, he was a bad man, but look, let's turn on our film now. Let's turn on theirs. I mean, I see D line chase everything down. I done got some fumbles from D line. I'm
Right.
15 yards and D lineman.
Vita does it.
Yeah, huh? Yeah,
Vita does
that's
it.
what I'm saying. So like back in the day when you turn on a film and you really like student of the game, you watch, you like, okay, he gets to the second level just like that, but I don't see no D line already. Like yeah, I
Right.
mean, you see it all the time now. So I mean, Chris McCaffrey, who tackled him when he just broke the 73-yard run? It was the DN or whatever. He got
Right.
drafted with me. He in the second year, so outside linebacker. So like you just see that, like what I'm saying nowadays. Like back in the day, dudes wasn't pursuing. So I mean, like I said, you just try to be a violent and enforce that dominance as much as you can, really. And
I,
yeah, I feel like I've been doing that, and I got better at that throughout the season.
You gotta be careful too. I mean, Josh Jacobs, he got fined like $41,000 for lowering his shoulder in a couple of games. You got a couple fines for trying to run through guys. So it's a
Yeah.
different game. It's more finesse than it is physical. At least that's the way it's trending. Which if you talk to one of your ex teammates, uh, it's a different game and it's a little more mediocre than what he thought. But speaking of one of your ex teammates and one of your current teammates, Baker Mayfield, model, what does to kind of motivate the team on like a game winning drive like the one that you had, And then maybe just some of the differences, from how Tom was, what comparisons, differences, and just kind of talk about that between the two quarterbacks.
Honestly, I mean, comparison is tough. I mean, because time is time, but I just feel like they both had passion. They both had a lot of enthusiasm. Um, I mean, last year I see TB do some different things. I kind of never seen or play with a quarterback that did, but I mean, I see a lot out of frustration, like people do out of frustration, so things like that. But with Baker, when it comes to frustration, I don't. I mean, he's just more like man. He just more like on himself out of frustration, and then he don't. He just more on like trying to get guys right, like guys in like just hyping guys up, just trying to install confidence in guys and things like that to keep them going, keep them doing their job, and just letting them know what we're gonna have to do, kind of to win this game and that aspect of it. And we just rally behind them. But when it comes to them both, to me, I just see a lot of passion, enthusiasm in it, like dudes that really care about their job. Obviously, Baker for sure runs more and be lowering his shoulder and stuff like that. And I mean, he's trying to pick up the tough yardage or when it break down, he's trying to make a play on third down and get a first down. And he did a good amount of that this year so far. So I mean, it's just good to see.
You're not talking about Tom smashing tablets on the side of the field, are you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I just, I don't know. I mean, you said a lot. Like I said, I ain't never
Right.
seen like people, but in the league, I mean, yeah, like I didn't never seen Patrick Mahomes slam the helmet until like last week.
All right. Yeah, I know. That was crazy. You got yeah, he was a little upset. But you watch the replay, like Tony was definitely offsides. Like he was offsides by a bit too. Like you're relying on the referee to tell you you're a whole foot over the line. I don't know. That's caused some
Yeah, I mean, for
controversy.
me, it's just tough. It's just tough. It's just
Yeah.
tough. I mean, somebody asked me about it today. I just said it's just tough, man. I mean, most guys like even when I go out there and I'm spread out wide, I check with the referee. I mean, if I check with the referee and the referee tell me I'm good, I mean, I think, and I'm not good, then I think that is wrong. But if I check with
Right.
the referee, like because it's just been going over the like I see what the head ref said. Like, is he not obligated? Yeah, he really not. But that's just what they have done over the time. Every time a
Right.
receiver might go out there, they looking at the ref like I'm good, like I'm on the line, right? Like so that's just what it's been doing
Like
over the history of the game. So if he did check and the ref said he good, but he wasn't good, then I think that is tough. But and man, kind of messed up. But if he didn't check and then he just offsides, then yeah, I mean I think
right.
he's in the wrong for it. But it's
It,
tough,
it
man. That's
it
tough.
didn't look like he checked watching the film, but I don't know if you saw the Terry McLaurin one. That was crazy to me because he
Yeah, see,
checked
like
like
that's
multiple
messed up. Yeah,
times. That was
yeah, see,
crazy to me. Like that's not cool, man. Like took off a
yeah.
touchdown.
Yeah, and yeah, he keep checking. Yeah, if he checking it, you saying like he's good and I'm not good, then
Right.
that's messed up.
Yeah,
Cause I mean, like
that's
that
crazy.
thing
Yeah.
is like inches, man. That thing is tough. Like it's tough. Like
All right.
he don't see his whole foot. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard. Like you looking at the ball, you trying to line up, right? Yeah,
Right. Can't be too far off because then it's
yeah,
you're not in the right alignment. Then you're getting a call for that. Yeah. There's a lot that goes into just lining up. I don't think people realize that. That's like the Stinny call. Couple, on
Oh
silent
yeah,
cadence. That was
that was a horrible call.
yeah. We won't
I
get
mean
you in trouble.
that was a cool. I mean that was a call that was needed to make. My fault. Excuse my language saying that was a horrible call.
No, 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 it's fine. It was a horrible call, and everyone's agreed. But speaking of the O line, they're really coming along, especially since Stinny's been inserted in that lineup. But just talk about two players. Luke, you came in with him last year. A lot of struggles moving to left guard. He's been phenomenal at right tackle. He's one of the top 20 tackles in the league right now. Either side, which has been great to see that ascension. And then Cody moving from left tackle to right guard, so kind of the opposite of what Luke did, but he's really kind of progressed throughout the year, especially in his run blocking. Just talk about those two guys and the line as a whole, and what you've kind of, especially a guy like Luke, who you came in the league with.
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, our line has been doing a great job, and they've been coming out with a mentality, with an edge. I mean, it's a trust factor. They trust me, I trust them. We talk and got good communication. About things whether it's pass protection or whether it's run, and I make sure I do a good job of telling them like the same what I just told y'all. Like I trust them, things like that, and they trust me. But I mean, yeah, just seeing the growth of Cody, man, he been doing a good job. You know, it shows like how much he cares, how much he loves football, and him, Luke, and that right side, man, them two just being young guys and like growing and like you said, being top 20, man, that's awesome, man. And I think he gonna continue to just shine and grow. Things like that. And then I think Cody as well, he gonna continue to shine and grow, man. Just rookie year, I think he's been phenomenal. I mean, he has had to go to get some guys too, some juggernauts. But and what? Don't we got another one this week? Is he
Yeah.
not hurt?
Yeah.
Right? Kenny?
Frank Clark and Kenny
Or,
Clark.
yeah, or something like that. So I mean,
Yeah.
I just we trust him, and he gonna have his hands full, but he know we gonna help him. We got his help, we got his back, and we're gonna trust him to do what he doing, man. It just shows the growth, man. The growth of the O line and just me in general, man. It just shows you guys see how much we really care and
Right.
one of the top things around on the ground.
And Tristan's just been amazing at left tackle. And one of the things, like, you're really close to their O line and talk about how much you really care. I thought it was awesome last night. You were out with them doing some charity work, shopping spree for 70 foster kids, which is great. You're out there with them for the turkey drive, or the offensive linemen go out there and give turkeys. You're at Mike Evans' charity thing. You had your own charity event this year. Just talk about the importance of giving back. Habitat for Humanity, you're out there. You're constantly just doing things to give back to this community. And, it's not even a community that, you were brought up and raised in, but you do so much for these kids. Just talk about how the importance of giving back and what it means to you to be able to do that.
Yeah, man. I think it's always important to give. One of the biggest things I think what God has said in the Bible. You give so much that it hurt, and just giving, man. It makes you just feel better, man. It just makes you when you're in a spot and you're in a spot in life, and you can shine your light that other people seeing you, and you can shine it back on them and others, and give back and just pay things forward. I mean, I just think that's key. So. I remember I was always telling myself, and one, I never forget where I came from, too. Like, when I get a chance to be able to shine my light and give back and just be around people, just help them, shop or whatever it is to go to my alignment events and support them and do what they do. And, mic event and things like that, and just go enjoy it, have fun. It wasn't about the bowling. It was just about, the community and being there for Mike and supporting Mike and just being there for the community to whatever sign and take pictures and just show love. Yeah, it's always important to do that.
Absolutely. And, in order to do that, you got to take care of yourself too. I saw a report saying that you spent quite a bit of money this off season to better your body, to better your mental, your physical, and kind of put together a body of work. How has that, the difference between year one when you didn't do that in year two, how much of a difference have you felt?
I feel a lot different. I mean, I'm blessed, man. Like I said, I might be older on the older side, but I didn't come into like the league with a lot of wear and tear on my body. I mean, I just was talking to my boy earlier today. We was on the phone, and we both was like, and I was like, dang, like this the most touches I ever had in my career, like in a year, in a season already, and that's crazy. I mean, it's still 4 games left, and then somebody came to me like I'm on pace to have whatever many amount of touches, but. Yeah, I mean, I mean, the biggest thing obviously is God and luck. Is luck and somewhat a part of that too. But yeah, just doing everything I can. Yeah, at a young age to just make sure I'm straight, make sure I keep taking my care of my body, make sure I keep doing what I'm trying to do. Because like you said, man, people think in field running backs are this and that, and ain't gonna be able to last this like that. But there's some guys out there like me that want to shatter that saying and shatter that mode, and want to do right. While I play the sport and want to do the best I can. So. I mean that's the biggest thing, man. Trying to shatter that mode of running backs can't or ain't gonna last past year this for their first contract, things like that. So I'm just big on like I'll be big on like proving people wrong, and that's another thing I want to prove wrong. So I just make sure I treat my body right. I don't do none of the drinking and smoking and the partying and things like that. I mean, like NFL tests me all the time. I ain't never worried about I'll just be chilling, man, living my life, enjoying it, and trying to do our best I can to, while this, it just don't last long. So
Yeah, right.
while I'm in it, just try to do the best I can to, put my best foot forward every day.
You hear Mike Evans talk about how he's learned how to take care of his body. Obviously, you're with one of the goats, we'll just say it, at taking care of their body. You kind of pick up some things from them on, take care of it now, and it will treat you better down the line, extend your career.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I pick Mike brain on a lot, man. He's huge to me, man. Big brother, him and CG, they huge to me, man. And a lot of other guys on team, Levante, things like that. Everybody think I'm like, the young scrappy player. I always want to fight. Levante always tell me keep my composure, and he keep me right during the game as well too. But I mean, I pick up a lot on their body. I pick up a lot on how I should do things, what I should do. I mean, I go ask them questions, man. I like to pick their brain, man. They've been around for a minute. They good legends. I mean, they guys that put in a lot of work and great years in this league. And I mean, look at the two guys I'm talking about. They one of the two oldest players on our team, and look at them and look at what they're doing this year. So it's just like amazing to see, and that goes to show like how much they cared about it, how much they put in, and things like that. And they put into this game, and they pour out into this game because the seasons they have are amazing. Mike gonna have another one of the best seasons of his career, and then look at Levante. I mean, he missed 2 games, but look at it. He come back last week and pick up where he was left off, and he having a great year as well. So
I got one more that I'm going to do some rapid fire, just, quick off the brain. Every back's goal is to get 1,000 yards rushing. You're 256 yards away from there. We talked about it the other day after I think it was the Panthers game. I know it's one of your goals to get there. Obviously, the biggest goal is to win. But any other personal goals that, you're progressing towards?
I mean, yeah. Biggest thing for me is just playoff. I mean, of course, I'm trying to put my best foot forward in order to get.
I said personal, Rachaad. I said personal, not team.
I mean, personal to me still is like playoff.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
playoff. You get a playoff check. You get all that. You get a chance to be in. I mean, in a select group, personally with people, and you get another shot at another game that's nationally televised, more people watching, more exposure, more
Right.
people seeing your game. So yeah, for sure. I mean, of course, I'm trying to do my best foot forward to end the season strong, keep ending the season strong, and I want to for sure try to make a statement to be able to go up there to Orlando. It's a lot of good backs in this league, but Orlando right up the street, so I want to try to do my best to go ahead and get selected to go to Orlando. So I mean, that's I mean, the other only biggest thing for real, 1,000 yards and things like that in Orlando, things like that. Like of course you think about stuff like that, but you don't. I don't, for me, put a lot of emphasis to it. I just let God have in store what he got for me, and at the end of the day, I just keep focused on, like I said, what's now and what's being present in the moment. And you don't want to never force nothing. I don't never force nothing in life, so I just let it come. It'll come to me. If it's meant for me to have 1,000 yards, God already got that road out for me. If it's not meant for me to have 1,000 yards, then I know at some point it's going to be meant for me to have it.
All right, you guys, he's not gonna, but I will campaign for him. Go and vote for him. Pro Bowl, go vote. I think it's still FedEx Ground Player of the Week. He's nominated for that, so congratulations. Go vote for him on those things. Get his butt to Orlando because he deserves it. Rapid fire questions, real quick here. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation for sure.
What game you playing right now? Anything?
Really, I be on PC, so I mean, I play Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that on PC, Fortnite and stuff.
Okay, and how do you like the new Fortnite map?
I like it a lot. It's like a lot. I think this offseason I'm gonna get into streaming and stuff like that, so it'll be good.
Oh, nice. Definitely. I'll share your Twitch channel too when you get it. Beach or the mountains?
I'm not. I mean, I would say beach, but I'm not gonna get in the water. But I go. That's tough, man. That's a good question. I mean, I'm gonna go beach though, just because of the water and the sounds of the ocean and just the view. But I do kind of like the mountains as well, though, because I can see the city, it's huge. Like in AZ, it's a mountain where you can just see the whole land of the city. It's awesome.
Camelback Mountain, and there's a couple other ones. My uncle lived out in Scottsdale, so I was out there a few times. It's beautiful out there.
Yeah.
I had those jumping Chahoyas, man. You ever get one of those?
No, I never got one of those.
It's the cactus. You walk by it and it like picks up your like electricity, and it'll like the thorns will jump on. It's very painful. Don't ever do it.
Okay, no.
Marvel or DC?
I'm gonna go DC for me just because my favorite superhero is Superman, so I'm gonna go DC.
That's my next question. Who's your favorite superhero? I thought you were a DC guy. City or country?
Well, I'm gonna go city. I just feel
Car
like
or truck?
I'm a car guy. I'm gonna go car.
What are you whipping?
What am I whipping?
Yeah.
Me, I'm young, so me. I got a fast car. I got a Hellcat. I like fast cars. Right?
Love it. Movie or TV series?
I'm gonna go movie. I kind of suck at TV series.
What have you watched recently? Anything good?
Really, I'm Home Alone been on, Elf been on. I'm a
Yeah.
huge Will Ferrell guy, so Elf been on. I've been on a lot of like Christmas movies lately.
Well, you got to get the little one, indoctrined early to all those Christmas classics.
Yeah, she just big on Grinch, but the newer one.
The newer, what's
Yeah,
that? What's that? Pharrell, right?
That's the one with the cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I just watched that one the other day, and then I watched the old one, and we got Jim Carrey on deck, I think, tomorrow night. Would you rather break a touchdown run for like, let's say, 30 yards, or would you rather break a pass for 30 yards?
I'm big on like the rushing end, so I'll say I'll rather break a rushing, run.
Okay. All right. Favorite movie.
My favorite movie of all time. Yeah, it's not rapid fire. Not rapid fire right here. I'll say I can't choose, man. It's too many to choose from, man. I'm sorry, I can't choose that one.
There's so many good ones. Favorite sports team growing up.
Favorite sports team growing up? Yeah, it probably had to be the Chiefs for sure. I mean, yeah,
Kansas City.
yeah.
Favorite place you visited.
Favorite place that I visited.
Travel to vacation.
I ain't got one yet, but I have one next time because I'm gonna travel to
Germany. No.
Yeah, but no.
You haven't done any vacation yet. Oh, how about this? Bahamas and Key West when we're on the cruise together.
Oh yeah, that's where we going. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be going, some other places too though.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is chicken wings.
God, I love it. Okay, naked or sauced?
I like sauce.
Okay, what sauce you going with?
Me, it just depends on the day.
Right.
Some days lemon pepper, some days buffalo.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like the sweet Thai chili. That's a good one. The mango habanero as well. Favorite cereal?
I like the honey hot too, but my favorite cereal would be Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, that's a different one. Favorite game you've ever watched?
Favorite game I've ever watched. I would have to say the best game I ever watched. I have to say, what was it, like the 2010, 2011, like Super Bowl? It was between the Steelers and the Cardinals, though. It was fire because it came down to like the wire. I think it was like a off or something like that.
Yeah, Harrison had a 99-yard interception return.
Yeah.
And then was it Santonio Holmes with the toe tap?
Yeah, the toe tap was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. Favorite color?
My favorite color is orange.
Favorite TV show? Oh, so you must have loved those creamsicles.
Yeah, I mean they wasn't bad. I thought they was cool.
Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? It'd have to be Martin, man. I'm a big Martin Lawrence guy, so I gotta meet him for sure. Probably
Great stuff.
Season.
Blue Streak's one of my favorite movies. Favorite sports memory? Blue Streak, yeah. That's a great one.
My favorite sports memory, like of me or in general?
View in general, if it's you, if it's something else that you witnessed or you're at or you watch, what's favorite
Just
sports
the favorite sport memory probably would be right now is playing in Germany, and just the fans. It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they try to recapture the country roads, John Denver. It just doesn't hit the same as it did in Germany.
Oh yeah.
Favorite dessert?
My favorite dessert. I would like to say I like homemade like chocolate cake. Like it got to be like hot coming out the oven though. Obviously,
Perfect.
got to cool it down too though, so you can spread the icing on there. But it got to be warm. I like it warm.
Nice warm chocolate cake. Can't go wrong with that. Favorite season of the year?
My favorite season of the year. I'd probably say spring. That's just like it's a good balance. The birds chirping, you wake up to the sun. It's like the weather is like lovely in the morning, and it ain't too bad during the day, and yeah, at night it's cool. Yeah.
Especially in Tampa. I mean, it's that's when it's just starting to get like hot enough to go do stuff, but not too hot where you're like, we've been having some cold weather recently in the mornings here. It's been like 40 degrees this morning. It's crazy.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
how does that work though? Like weight management? Because obviously, like in the heat of training camp in the summer, the early months, you're like, you go out to practice, you're losing 5 pounds. Like, so you got to eat to get that weight back on. And like now these colder months, is it different? Gotta be different.
Um, I just probably for some guys. I mean, for me, it's cool. I mean, you at some time like sometimes you at the point of the season where you sometimes too tired to even eat 3 meals a day, man, or so. So you be trying to really get it in.
All right, last two. Favorite player growing up?
Favorite like play.
Favorite player.
My favorite player growing up, and we talking about football.
Football, any sport, really. Favorite player.
My favorite player growing up, football wise, I say it had to be uh, it had to be like Le'Veon Bell. I think I was like the biggest supporter for him.
He's killing it boxing right now too. Favorite game you ever played in?
Favorite game I've ever played in.
NFL, collegiate league, high school.
It probably had to be my last year at Arizona State, and we went to Washington. Yeah.
You want to give a shout out to your boy for winning the Heisman?
To me, yeah, my boy. I was just on the phone with him earlier.
There's a lot of guys predicting that, Tampa Bay might be the landing spot. That'd be a pretty nice little reunion, huh?
Yeah, man. I mean, that wouldn't be bad. That's my guy.
Absolutely. Well, Rachaad, I want to thank you so much for popping on here. That was awesome. Got to know a little bit more about you. Just again, congratulations on the season you're having. And just, from me, the Tampa community, thank you so much for you do. As far as giving back, the time you spend with the fans, especially the young ones, it's just amazing to watch. Some athletes have a larger than life personality, but that is not you. You are very humble. You are very appreciative, and you're very hungry. That's for sure. And you're always willing to just brighten someone's day with a conversation or with an autograph or anything. So just thank you for being who you are, and thanks for coming on, man.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you later.
I'll see you in the morning. Later.
Later.
There you guys have it. Rachaad White on his way to 1,000 yards, 256 to be exact. He needs over the last 4 games around like 64, 65 yards per game. He's really come along as a running back in this offense as well as the offensive line. So best of luck to him the rest of the season. Best of luck to the Bucs, who have a tough game coming up where they travel up to the frozen tundra Lambeau Field. We'll be back later this week to preview that matchup as we always do. But until then, thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Pirate Parlay podcast here on the Sick Podcast Network. We'll talk to you guys later this week. Out. Peace.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Pirate Parlay on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.